It's probably not what people think when you hear the word drill. So normally when we do a drill, there's something kind of physically being acted out. We're evacuating buildings, we've got the alarms going off, there are things that are being simulated. Great ShakeOut is a little bit scaled down. For one, we have a huge campus community, right? We have almost 50,000 people who are a part of our campus community. And it can be very hectic to try and ask 50,000 people to stop what you're doing and practice something right now for this drill. So we have approached it more as an educational thing where this day is the Great ShakeOut. So this is a really great opportunity for you to kind of take the time today. Doesn't have to be at that exact moment. Maybe it's when you go home after work or after school, but to kind of dedicate some time that you otherwise wouldn't to assess your own earthquake readiness. Take a few moments today to kind of assess it and look at it in a new lens and think, okay, if there were an earthquake, a major earthquake, what are my safe spots in these usual surroundings that I'm always in, so I already know where to go once the shaking happens. The instances where we have really had to kind of stand up a response to something are very few and far between. So this room, we refer to it as an EOC, that stands for Emergency Operations Center, and we have to have it. So every campus has one. How often it gets used though is kind of a mixed bag. So I'm happy to say, yeah, we have it. It's a great room, but I'm so happy it doesn't get used very often because that means we don't have disasters and emergencies that are happening on our campus. On our campus, we have our facilities department. It's referred to as BBS, or Beach Building Services. So they have a team of people who are responsible for what's called post-earthquake inspection. So if there really were an earthquake, they would go out and they have, a tiered approach where we have the really critical buildings that they know have gas lines and chemical storage, and they check those out first, and eventually they would check the whole campus and make sure that everything is fine. But there was no issues with that today because of course we weren't simulating anything, so there was no damage to assess. We did used to really push more for the in the moment. As soon as we send out the beach alert, we are expecting everyone to actually physically practice the drop, cover, hold on. So that used to be the case kind of pre-COVID, and the feedback we got was that it wasn't realistic. People liked just kind of having the reminder, but being able to do it when they had the time to that day. So that's the new approach, is we'll give you the tools and the reminder, but it is now kind of a self-assessment for you to do that on your own. We don't want to kind of create that knee-jerk reaction of anytime there's an earthquake, we need to evacuate the building. Because we don't. We're only going to evacuate if some sort of secondary issue has come up. So if that earthquake caused a gas leak or a fire or structure damage, then of course we're going to evacuate. So we can't control earthquakes, we can't stop them, but there are things that you can do to be better prepared. And that includes finding your safe spots. That includes talking to the people that you live with, whether it's roommates or family, and creating your family emergency plan. So you're not waiting until the ground is shaking to suddenly have these conversations for the first time. You can do something as simple as putting an earthquake kit under your bed. You can put a pair of tennis shoes and a flashlight under your bed tonight, and that makes you a little bit more prepared.